You guys really like when I make these sort of videos, don't you? I'm gonna be talking about a festival that hasn't gone very well, and I can already see. I can see the look in your eyes. You're like, this is an evil Pinely classic. I don't really have that much more to say for this intro. So today, we're talking about A Million Lives Book Festival. A Million Lives Book Festival is a book festival that, to say the least, less than 1 million people lived through it. I'd say a lot less. Like a lot less. Like a significant amount lesser than what you would assume than 1 million. So this took place quite recently at the time of recording this. We're talking a few days ago, the 2nd and 3rd of May. The A Million Lives Book Festival has occurred. This is a little page explaining what this festival is. A Million Lives Book Festival is the perfect event to make more bookish friends. Yeah, that's right, nerds. Ever wanted to meet more nerd friends who read books? I read books. I read books. This is a joke. You're not a nerd for reading. Sometimes I'll say one of these stupid jokes and someone will actually be like, oh, is this for real, this stupid thing you're saying? The event will include a vendor hall, panels, a content creation room. Just remember all of these things, okay? Can you count them? Vendor hall, panels, a content creation room, fandom cosplay meetups, a cosplay competition, and a ball. Tickets are $50, but this is the lowest sort of amount. The ticket includes access to our vendor hall, cosplay meetups, and content creation room only on May 3rd. Only get the content creation room at May 3rd, and let me tell you what a content creation room this is. This is technically, I guess, also a content creation room, but it's much less impressive. Then we get the $150 ticket, Cloud Walker. This ticket includes access to our vendor hall, cosplay meetups, panels, event swag bag, and content creation room. Oh my god, they get access to this on May 2nd and 3rd. Just think about all the content you can make. It might be a little too much at this point, you know? Sometimes when you get too much of a good thing, it's disgusting. And the $250 Dream Maker ticket. This ticket includes access to our vendor hall, cosplay meetup, panels, event swag bag, and content creation room on May 2nd and 3rd, and access to our Lavender Romance Ball. So just for a perspective here on how important this content creation room is. The difference between the cheapest ticket and the mid-range ticket is $100. And really the only difference here is panels, event swag bag, and an additional day of content creation room. This is at least like a $50 value for the additional day of the content creation room. So this is a showcase of the aesthetic they were going for the ball. Okay, this is a copyrighted song. So the aesthetic is pink and other colors, and you can sort of see it. You can sort of see the aesthetic. It's amazing. So as things were starting to unfold, TikToks were coming out, kind of expressing how people were feeling about this. So this video is by Steph, Devourer of Books. Steph, the Great Devourer of Books. It's a good name. When you're going to a bookish fantasy themed ball, and this is what you get. So is this the ball? Is this the ball? So there is a big empty, sort of, if we're looking around here, there's a big empty room of nothing, a kind of a small amount of flower petals on the table, and a bar, and that's the ball. Oh, you know, recently I've had a bit of a ball myself. I've been spending a lot of my dinners and lunches watching some really fun original shows. I recently started Broe Deschanel's series Taboo on Screen on Nebula. It is great. First episode kind of tackles sex scenes in TV and cinema, and how everything feels a bit sexless in media nowadays. These things generally being on the decline, the growing sentiment online that maybe we should get rid of these scenes altogether. But if you're more of an average funny man, if you check out Nebula, who I'm partnered with, Abolish Everything might be the show for you. It's this comedy sort of presentation / debate kind of show. They take these funny people, they go up and then they start arguing about funny things.
Every best man speech is a stunning display of how little men know about their friends.
That's honestly very true. So yeah, all of this you can watch on Nebula. This is a premium streaming service who I'm partnered with, not just as a sponsor, but I've been making exclusive videos that go on their service for quite some time now. If you scan this or go to the link in the description, you can get a subscription to Nebula for a full year with a 40% discount. Ends up just being $36. And it's a great way to support the channel too. Thank you, Nebula, for sponsoring this video. Now, there are more videos of people not being too happy about this event. So this is by this account right here, another author just like Steph the Devourer.
To Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Fantasy Ball. I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen in this ball. I gotta mute this every 2 seconds. Oh my god, so excited. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Come on. You can't call this a ball. This is just a big old room. This is our DJ. Oh no. Just a lonely JBL speaker. A little Bluetooth speaker. That's the DJ. His name's Steve. Hi, Steve. Hope you're doing well. That's a bit... Okay. That's not great. Just so we're all on the same page. This ball was only accessible... Yeah. This was only accessible to people who paid $250. You could at some level say that they paid an additional $100 for this. For Steve, the Bluetooth DJ. Let's read what Maya the Researcher wrote here. God bless Maya the Researcher. Can we get a shout out Maya the Researcher in the comments? Can we get a thank you Maya the Researcher? Percy J, an author, went to the event and made a recap of everything that was going wrong even before it started. Prior to the ball, this wasn't just a ball related issue. As an author, she had to put down a $150 deposit to secure her table, and she flew out for the event. Let's hear it from the Percy J. This is the account right here. In this video, Percy talks about her experience as an author with like a table at the event with a stand.
So I put down my $150 table fee back in February of 2024. I'm supposed to get my logo on the website, an author takeover day on the
logo on the website, author takeover day on the Facebook group,
an author focus day with several posts about me and my books on social media,
several posts on social media,
window or floor decal, and my logo on the tote bag. Now, I have been to other events before where I've seen events do all of these things for other people. So I sent them all of my things, and on January 20th, they received my $250.
They said I did receive the payment, which is pretty solid proof that they received the payment.
And I started counting the number of authors, vendors, and narrators that were actually coming to the event. It was slated at somewhere around 120.
So 120 people, this is people who are providing the sort of like the experience for the goers. The people who are going into the event, the casual book lovers. The equivalent of like a YouTuber at VidCon.
Those kind of numbers are huge.
Huge.
But I had not seen any advertising on behalf of the management company for this event.
So remember that number, 120, as we watched this video by Chris K. Haynes Books.
There were 140 people in attendance. 603 tickets sold, 140 people in attendance. That means somewhere in the vicinity of 460 people just spent $50, at least $50 on a ticket and then didn't show up? That seems very odd.
So here Chris is saying, I'm just thinking about all these numbers. 150 people showed up compared to 600 who bought tickets, allegedly. So I looked into a bunch of these videos, and the whole thing's really confusing because I saw the number 120 a bunch of times and I'm like, what's a vendor in this situation? What's an attendee? Some vendors were also attendees because they wanted to go to that, great ball that we saw, a Cinderella-esque ball that we saw. So basically, the general numbers that I saw, and again, this might be off because these are weird numbers, but the estimated number of vendors is 120. And the estimated amount of people who went to the event is apparently 140. So like, only like a tad more than the vendors. And the 140 amount is estimated by the organizers, but by the vendors they said 120 or less. Some people were saying that 30 people actually showed up, so that would be a lot less than the vendors. So this shows us kind of how the hall looked like. I mean, genuinely 30 might be reaching here a little bit. And you know, vendors need to pay money to have a stall. This is like not cheap. And now we should probably talk a little bit more about the ball. Again, only people who paid $250 had access to this thing. This is from this account again.
The event started at 7 p.m. Of course, it didn't even start on time. The doors were still locked until about like 7:15-ish. There was no food. There was a small table.
No, $250. No food. $250, no food. $250, no food. Just get a small table with
Just desserts.
Just desserts. No food, just a small table with just desserts. What sort of ball is this? This is no fairy tale sort of ball. They really dropped the ball on this one.
I wanted the mood for desserts. So I was thinking if there were like crackers, you know, a box of Cheez-Its for us to fight over like raccoons, something. No, there was nothing else there. But there was a bar, a cash bar.
$250, you only get a bar that you gotta pay for. $250, you don't even get fucking snacks.
$150 for a ticket to access a cash bar for a $10 tiny little cup of wine. But you know, that didn't bother me personally. I'm pregnant, I don't drink. So I'm trying to see if I can get like a water or a Sprite or something. Yeah, if you wanted to get like a tiny cup of Sprite, it was gonna be $5.
$5 for a tiny cup. $250, you're gonna pay $5 for a cup of Sprite.
Bottle of water, $5.
$5, you're gonna pay $5 for fucking water after you paid $250 for a goddamn ball. So, $10 wine and a fantasy ball. Let's look at the fantasy ball. I can't. I know we've looked at it a bunch of times, but this is crazy.
Well, this is a narrator panel for 1,000,000 likes. I'm the moderator.
So this is a narrator panel. This is a preview of how the panels looked like from this account right here. So they don't have chairs for the panels.
For this narrator panel, audiobook narrators are just like a form of being a voice actor. My best friend voice. I always go for like a
They're just sitting on the floor. That's the panel.
valley girl. They're pretty cool people. You know, I mean, Zach's okay, but the rest of
At least people are having fun. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm gonna show you. You guys have been waiting for this. The content creation room. This is for an account called Book Club for One on TikTok. This is the account name right here. Now I'm gonna show you the content creation room. This is the room specifically designed for the art of filmmaking. There it is. It's like something out of a horror movie. Why is there nothing there? Why is there not even like a photo op sort of thing? It's just an empty room. They're better off just filming outside, like in the street. They'll get better lighting. And there are like other random things popping up, like swag bags being stolen, signage not being up. People didn't know where to go. Like 30 to 120 people that were there didn't know what to do. And apparently the A Million Lives event organizers said that the ball decorations were stolen. That's why it had to look like how it does. That's why it had to look all horrible. Then Laura, this person right here, also talked about the event, had some receipts. In the video, Laura talks about how she confronted by emailing the venue about some stuff that the organizers said was the venue's fault. Hi there, I was an attending author at this event, and I wanted to see if you could provide some clarity surrounding some accusations. Talking about lost boxes of books, snacks, and swag bags. The swag bags were part of the jump from 50 to 150 per ticket. It's also circulating that the convention center wouldn't allow the organizer permission to place signing throughout the convention center to help guide attendees to the right rooms, that they had 10 different reps throughout the duration of planning this event, and that she didn't receive final unloading/entering the con information until a couple of days before the event, leading to mass confusion for both vendors and attendees. Any insight you could provide would be greatly appreciated, as this isn't the first event I've attended at BCC, and I'm appalled at how this event was run by the organizer. So the venue themselves responded to this. This is the venue, not the people who organized the event. Hi Laura, I'm so sorry you had an unpleasant experience at your event this week, and I can tell you that we didn't receive information from the event organizer about missing boxes from the event. I checked in multiple times with show management and heard nothing but positive comments about how things were going on site. Directional signage is absolutely allowed to be placed throughout the public spaces. Laura is basically trying to see if the excuses given by a million books, no, a million lives, if the excuses and the fact that they were pinning some of the issues with this event on the venue, she's basically trying to confirm with the actual venue if these things have occurred. So the venue's saying no, directional signage was allowed, as long as it's provided by the event. And lastly, loading and unloading information is discussed at various points throughout the planning process, but I could check to make sure this was covered. Again, I'm sorry your experience wasn't as expected, and I hope you will return to BCC for a future event. So where are we with this whole thing today? So this author right here made this video. At the end of this video, she talks about Grace, the organizer of this event.
So she comes back up to me and she tells me that she's apologized, she's issuing refunds. And I was like, great, where'd you post it? Is it on Instagram or on TikTok? And she's like, I'm just walking around. No, not everyone is here and not everyone will hear you. So I tell her to make a post and to tag me in it so I can see it and I can share it with my readers.
You know where I am. These people that were with me at the time, she said that she was gonna issue an apology on Insta or TikTok or whatever, something out there, and I told her to tag me in it so I can see it, and she said that she's issuing refunds.
Made sure that she had eyewitnesses. And this has happened. So there we go. Archer Fantasy Events, the company behind this thing, has made a video apologizing for the ball.
Hi everybody. I am wanting to issue a formal apology. I do understand that the ball tonight was not set up to standards. There were a lot of issues with getting set up and it was not set up well. I want to apologize. If you would like a refund, please contact me and I will issue a refund immediately. Thank you.
So that's that. And we also got this thing. Dear authors and vendors, I wholeheartedly apologize for the failures of this weekend. The event was unacceptable and I will do everything in my power to make it up to all of you. I do want to go over a few things before I go over how refunds will work. I did not make any money off this event. That makes sense, considering what we saw. I put thousands of dollars into this event. All author fees and ticket sales went directly to the bills of this event. The author fee of $100 included the $40 charge of your table and $15 charge per chair, and everything on top of that went straight into convention center costs. This is the numbers we saw. 603 tickets sold with an attendance of 140. I do apologize for this because the ticket sales was there, but the attendance was clearly not. I mean, then again, you probably shouldn't have approved for that many vendors and authors to come in. 100 and something authors and vendors into a 600 people ratio is still kind of a lot. Featured authors will receive the attendance fee that was promised, compensation for travel and to cover the hotel issues. Attending authors and vendors who have requested a refund will receive the table fee and the assistant fee back. So that's that, guys. Pretty crazy stuff with this book talk event. I gotta state it now. I'm gonna use the word book talk in the title. They had a content creation room. A lot of book talkers must have used this content creation room. I mean, a lot of content was created about the event. I'll give them that. So yeah, hopefully everyone gets refunded. These sort of events and whatnot, I always find that fascinating. Like and subscribe to turn me into a book talker, I guess.